Sorry guys, apparently there's no sound. Um, the Chinese the Chinese reform meetings are set up today. It's kind of a process where there'll be a change of power eventually on the back of that, and that's typically the meetings where they announce major reforms to their economic policy. So I think that's also kind of been weighing on Asian markets for the last little while, especially the Chinese markets. Um, the disappointing results from Toyota kind of had a knock-on effect to some of um, the other companies, and basically saying that they think they've stolen some market share from them. But we'll see how that pans out. We've got Arcelor that was out this morning with first three quarters numbers, earnings per share at 50 cents, revenue at 8.8 versus it was expected at 8.8. I believe the if I can give a little bit more insight into that they're currently sitting at 19 cents for 9 months today. Expectations are for a loss of 17 cents. So that means that they're, I think, well ahead of schedule. So I think the market could take this positively that they'll have a beat for the year. Also later at the open, we've got earnings out of SAPI. And then we've got a trading statement expected earnings expected out of Foschini later. There's no trading statements, so obviously there wouldn't be a difference by 20%. So we'll have to see how this one plays out. I'm going to show the chart in just a little bit as well. All right, so some market data out today. An employment change out of Australia, a little bit worse than expected. Industrial production numbers. Out of Spain and Germany. We have manufacturing production here locally. We've got interest rate announcements out of the BOE and the ECB. I did read a couple things last night that there's a lot of whispers out there that the ECB may actually cut rates at either this or the next meeting. So I think there is an opportunity for a potential surprise there. And then we've got initial jobless claims later in the States, as well as third quarter GDP quarter-on-quarter annualized. All right, let's jump into the maps. Okay, the maps are starting to get a little bit monotonous with some of the setups here. I'll just go into the first thing I wanted to show here is just Impalas. I mean, I don't know if the rudder spoke about this one yesterday or not, but we made a huge breakout there on Tuesday. Obviously yesterday, brilliant second day play. We've talked about that over the past few sessions. These second day plays just seem to be working more or less every single time. Same sort of pattern that we've been seeing. I mean, with a little outlier when we did drop for a few days below 120, sort of a descending wedge pattern, and then a breakout to the upside. I think if you look at Amplats, the chart's looking somewhat similar there, except for obviously further behind. If we run it from the closes, we're kind of right at resistance. I mean, if we're running it from the wicks, we're also really right at resistance. So either way you look at it, to me, the Amplats is the same sort of pattern that we saw in Impalas. I think we can break up to the upside if we do. I don't see any reason why we can't pop all the way up to close to 480 on Amplats. Kind of sticking with that mining theme and let's just have a quick look at this. I mean, if you look at Anglo, what is it? If you quick look at things like Anglos as well, same pattern. I mean, it's really the mining sector, same sort of thing across the board. So Anglos really traded up to more or less previous highs. I think we actually closed a touch above it, so new closing highs in terms of maybe for the last 8-9 months. But bottom line is all these patterns are starting to look the same. So we start to look for some of the laggards maybe in the index. Here comes one here. Exaro has definitely lagged quite badly. Coronation made an announcement yesterday or 2 days ago saying that they had taken 12% stake or 10.5% stake, I think it was. This thing I would have a look at right around its 200-day moving average. If it can pop up above its 200-day, which is at 57.40, I think it's definitely worth a nice nibble. It got up above that yesterday and then pushed lower into the close of the session. So we'll see how that plays out, but definitely one that may pique some interest there. Also, ARI's got a beautiful little sideways consolidation or wedge formation here that looks like that it could break out to the upside at any moment. I would call a close above 200 as kind of confirmation of that. And like I said, we're just seeing this pattern kind of breaking out to the upside across the mining sector. So watch these, the ones that are lagging slightly. There might be some good opportunities there. All right, let's look at Massmart. We sent a tweet out on this one yesterday. It was dropping this level here around 160. There's definitely some sort of significance to this level. We closed at 159. I think the important thing here is that this thing is coming out of the index, most likely on the back of Glencore coming in, and that happens. When does that happen again? This month. I think it happens sometime this month. So as Glencore comes in, we expect Massmart to come out. I'll at least expect a quick $5 from the drop of this pattern, possibly even more. I mean, if you really take from the top of this pattern, then there could be much more downside than that. But either way, I mean, I think we've got significant downside here for Massmart. Wouldn't be surprised to see it test the lows of the year. All right, and then the last one I'm going to show is Foschini Group. We're expecting earnings out of Foschini Group today. Some of these retailers are trading quite poorly over the last several sessions. I suppose you'd expect that with this really significant weakness out of the rand. But you can see here at 110, there's major support here for Foschini. And I think that, these things are probably it's probably a great little support area, provided the earnings today aren't too weak. So let's have a look at that and on the day, and we'll see how that plays out. But like I said, retail space starting to look a little bit heavy, but should be giving us maybe a nice buying opportunity over the next couple weeks. That's it for today, guys. Thanks a lot.